Right now, efforts are underway to compensate hundreds of abuse survivors here in Florida. Millions of dollars will be paid to men who attended the Dozier School for Boys. Students were beaten, tortured, and raped during the school's 100 years of operation. 10 Tampa Bay's Miguel Octavio spoke to survivors about these checks. Miguel, some survivors aren't thrilled about the amount here.
Dave, they say no amount of money can equal the abuse they went through here. The trauma changed their lives beyond their stay at the reform schools, but some survivors say they're just glad to be compensated after years of fighting this in Tallahassee.
The scars will always be there.
On a family vacation, far from the scene of childhood heartache,
It feels that we've come to a closure.
Charles Fudge makes the most of time with loved ones. He was 12 when he endured abuse at the state-run Dozier School for Boys.
We're old men now, but think about it if you was a 12-year-old and was beaten by somebody.
He and others fought for years to be compensated for the crimes. Lawmakers finally agreed last year. Now money will soon be sent to survivors.
I want closure.
The Florida Attorney General's office says survivors will be given more than $21,000. 926 survivors got approval for compensation.
A drop in the bucket.
Over the years, 10 Tampa Bay followed their attempts to be paid.
The pain was so smooth you couldn't cry in it. It was just that hard.
The $20 million program lawmakers approved applies to survivors who were at Dozier between 1940 to 1975. An investigation from a team at USF found 55 burials at the site of the school. They believe more than 100 children died while at the campus in Mariana.
Money cannot compensate us what we went through. It will not erase the memory.
The money can't buy peace, but for Fudge, it helps him cope with the pain.
Remembering these things will live with us for the rest of our life.
Now, many of the survivors who went to the reform schools are teenagers or now in their 70s and 80s. Charles Fudge, who you just heard from, is 77 years old. He says he acknowledges he may not have a lot of time left. He'd like to spend some of that compensation money on a trip with his wife abroad. Live in studio, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay.